I didn't put down any of the other authors' names. Hello! Today is Friday the 13th, and I'm going to be starting a horror-centered video because it is spooky season. That's how I sound like a millennial when I say that, but that's the best way to describe this time of year. So that's how I'm going to describe it. So I'm starting a horror-themed video. The video's going to be stop when I find a 5-star book. And all the books are horror books, or at least what Goodreads would label a horror. I have been reading more horror this year than I have any other year, and I've had some really good ones and some not so good ones and maybe some atrocious ones. We all know what I'm talking about. So I'm really interested in seeing if I can find something that I would call a 5-star. I know I had a 5-star horror read with Brat earlier this summer, so you know, it's not impossible. And I've just been really enjoying horror recently, so I'm wanting to see if I can do something if I can find a very, very good horror. I've got a TBR that's like 10 books long, and so I'm going to introduce the contenders in this video, going in no particular order. We have Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Hua. We Had to Remove This Post by Hannah Boverts. We have Patricia Wants to Cuddle, Your Shadow Half Remains. Oh Caledonia, The Eyes Are the Best Part, Someone You Can Build a Nest In, Smother Moss, The Tyranny of the Flies, and Mother Thing. That one's by Ainsley Hogarth. I don't know why I know that. And so I'm just going to get started on this video, I think. I've got a book that I'm finishing up right now. I'm going to finish it this evening, and then I'm going to get started. The first book I'm going to get into is Your Shadow Half Remains. Sunny Moraine, that's who wrote this book. So this will be the first book that we've got in this video. I will report back to you on whether or not it's a 5-star. Well, what a great way to start the video. At this point in time, I'm going to just put this book down and move on to something else. I'm not calling it an official DNF because I might come back to it at some point, but right now it is just too boring. The writing is just not good enough for me to continue on, and this book is 159 pages. I'm at page, I think 82? 83. So I'm over halfway through this book, and it's just so boring. The concept of this book is very interesting, and you'd think that with a concept like this, I would want to continue reading, but the writing is not helping it in any way. I'm extremely bored. The writing it's so overwritten. And I think Moraine is trying to do this very philosophical thing, but she keeps doing, so we'll be in the present time, which is what she calls after, this event. Or there's the before and there's the after, and she'll go do flashes between all of these things, and it could be good, but she keeps trying to do this very philosophical thing where she asks questions, she'll pose a question to the reader. She'll be like, how do you go on with this? And then she'll ask another question. It's what is it supposed to be like after this? Something like that. Obviously that's not 100% one-to-one what it is. It's phrased better than that. But she'll do that several times in these chapters. Not in the present tense chapters, although she does do them in the present tense chapters, but she does it more in the past tense chapters, which there's just not a lot of consistency. It's boring. And then this philosophical stuff, which isn't well written. Like I already said, this book is overwritten to a teeth grinding, annoying level. And I just can't get through it. I will be reading a paragraph and it's so overwritten that I am just completely tuning out what I'm supposed to be reading. And then I'll be down further into the paragraph and all of a sudden I'm I didn't take in any of that. None of it registered in my head. And so I just I can't keep going with this one. I'm so over it at this point. I'm not calling it an official DNF yet. I might at some point come back to it. But I have other books that I want to be reading right now, other books that I am expecting to be better than this. So, finished Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. And let me tell you, this is the book that Rouge by Mona Awad, famously hated book by me, this is the book that book was trying to be. If you want a interesting body horror about the beauty industry, pick up this book. Don't read Rouge, because that book is boring, and this book is interesting. It plays with the themes of feminism and motherhood even better than Rouge, which I feel really bad about, because Rouge is actually about Mona Awad's relationship with her own mother, and I feel bad about saying that this book is a better book about motherhood and family than that one is, but it is what it is. I'm going to touch on my thoughts more at the end. I don't know where I'm going to rank this one. I don't think it's a 5-star, because if it was a 5-star, I feel like I would know that right away. I'm leaning for 4.5 maybe. We'll check in back where I am at the end of the video where I ended up putting this one. But I don't think it's a 5-star. And again, maybe I'll have changed my mind if I have more time away from it. But at the moment, I'm thinking 4.5 on the rating for that one. I thought I would do a little update for Smother Moth. I'm a little under halfway through this book, and I'm enjoying it, writing style-wise. My biggest gripe is I have no idea, I don't know what this book is about. Like I said, I'm under halfway through this book. You'd think it'd be picking up action-wise, and I don't know what the action in this book is going to be. There's one thing that I'm thinking, okay, that's, obviously it's going to lead into what the main action of the book is going to be, but I don't know how it involves the main characters of the books, because it's completely removed from the main characters right now. And I don't know how this is going to connect, because it hasn't at all in any meaningful way intersected with the lives of the main characters yet. And I would think that at this point, I'm 100 pages in, it would start to get a little bit more. But I like the writing style enough, and I like the world building. It's not I shouldn't say world building, but I like the prose enough in this where I'm going to keep going. It is an interesting book, and I love the characters of this book. That's why I'll give you an final update when I'm finished with this, probably today or tomorrow. Hey guys, so just a little update video on where I'm at with my reading. I DNF'd. We had to remove this post because it was very boring to me. And I really could not find the motivation to read that book at all. I was not interested in any way, shape, or form in that book. I go into most of my books blind, and I'm going into, I believe every book in this list that I'm going into is a blind read. In this video, I know what that book was about. I started reading it. I didn't like the writing style all that much. I found it very boring, so I DNF'd that one. I am on to Patricia Wants to Cuddle. That one is by Samantha Allen, and I'm enjoying it so far. I find it already so much more interesting than the last book I was reading, and I do like the writing style. The last book was written in epistle. I don't know how to, but it's written letter, as a letter to someone else, and I don't like it because it sort of addresses the reader, and that's personally not my favorite form of writing style. I knew I wasn't gonna like it all that much, and since I have a lot of books in this TBR, and it's a stop when I find a 5-star read, and I knew that book was not going to be a 5-star read, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna put this one down. I didn't get very far into it, but again, I knew I wasn't gonna like it. I just moved on from it, and so far I'm enjoying this book. I'm about, I would say, I think I'm 3 chapters in, so we'll see how it goes. And I will update you probably when I'm finished. It's Friday, so I'll read it this weekend. And I'm very excited. Hey guys. So I finished Patricia Wants to Cuddle. And it was just okay. I wasn't shocked, wasn't wowed, wasn't thrilled with it. It's probably going to be 3 stars. I had some issues with the writing. It was fine. It wasn't all that good, but it was just not that good, and I really didn't like the ending. The characterization kind of was not all that good, and
yeah, it didn't wow me. It wasn't a bad book by any means, but definitely not a 5-star, which is unfortunate. I need to get a better book in here soon if I want to get this video out by the 31st, which is my, you know, hopeful deadline. I'm going to be reading The Eyes Are the Best Part next, so we'll see how that one goes, and then I will get an update to you. It's like 9 right now, 9 p.m., so I'll start reading that one tomorrow morning. So I am about halfway through The Eyes Are the Best Part, and I am really enjoying it so far. This is, I mean, it's probably up there with Natural Beauty. I wouldn't say it's better than Natural Beauty, but it is so good. I'm like tearing through this right now. I'm loving it. So I'm really hoping that it just continues to shock and wow me, and that this one ends up being a 5-star. I believe it's a debut release, and I know it's a 2024 release. It's by Monica Kim. So I'm really hoping that this ends up being a 5-star, because it's really good so far.
So I finished The Eyes Are the Best Part. This is a really good book. However, I fear it's not a 5-star. The thing is, when it's a 5-star, like, you know it's a 5-star right away. And this book, I'm sitting with it, and I really enjoyed it, and I did enjoy the ending, which, of course, as we know, it can be the most contentious part of a book. I did really enjoy this. I enjoyed the read. I just don't think that it is a 5-star. I'm going to be moving on to the next book. I think it'll be O Caledonia that I'm going to be reading next. Hopefully that one's a 5-star, because this video needs to be out by Halloween. So...
Okay, so I officially have a 5-star. I finished O Caledonia, and that one is a 5-star. I'm going to do a quick little overview of my thoughts. It's not really a horror. I don't know why it got marked as a horror on Goodreads. It's a gothic novel, and so a lot of gothic themes, like a lot of gothic motifs, not themes, are present in horror novels, but it's not a horror novel. So, but it was good, and I really enjoyed it because it's a 5-star. One thing, so I just finished Flowers in the Attic, which was also a gothic novel, and I found a lot of similarities in those two books. I do have a video planned for Flowers in the Attic, so be prepared for that. But yeah, I just saw a lot of similarities between these two novels. I thought that Flowers in the Attic was a piece of garbage. Besides that point, I think that these two books are similar in that they both follow two young girls who are going through puberty, and they're in a gothic setting, and they're both sort of bratty. They don't really like anyone else. They don't take shit from people. But the thing is, with Janet, listen, when I read Flowers in the Attic, I didn't dislike Kathy. She's the best part about the novel, and I thought both books were well written. It's just that I couldn't get over all the stuff that V.C. Andrews was doing wrong. Like, obviously the incest, but also the sexual abuse and the racism that was very evident in that novel. I was like, this book just isn't good. Meanwhile, with O Caledonia, I mean, both books were written at a very similar time. Similar themes going on with these two books. But one just ended up being such a beautiful, heart-wrenching piece of literature. And yeah, I just think that O Caledonia deserves to be held within the halls of literature rather than the place that Flowers in the Attic does. Because if I say Flowers in the Attic, most people know, oh, that's the incest book, right? They know what Flowers in the Attic is, but most people don't know what O Caledonia is, which I think is a damn shame. So, anyways, that's my thoughts. I'm going to give a bit more of a wrap-up, specifically on each of these books.
Hi! So I just wanted to let you guys know that I did initially film a wrap-up for this video, but it ended up just me being rambling on and on about the same stuff, so I didn't think that was all that useful. So I'm just going to do a little outro right here. Thank you all for watching this video. I know it was very chaotic. It was very chaotic for me to put together, trying to get it done by the 31st, which is right now. It is the 31st, 8:30 p.m. on Halloween. But it was very fun for me to film. I really enjoy doing these videos, and I really enjoy literally any of the engagement that I get from any of you guys. So thank you if you watched this. If you want, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and comment if you feel so led. I'm going to be linking my Goodreads and my Letterboxd and my Substack like I always do. And that's all. Bye!
I have the hiccups right now.